Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for October 2022. So on Saturday, October 8th, we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of resurrection, going direct. Now, it has been a very, very, very tough last 5.5, 6 months, where Pluto has forced us inwards to examine our truest fears, our deepest, darkest secrets, our deepest, darkest truths, illuminating for us where our pain, where our trauma is blocking us from actually standing in our power, illuminating for us where it is in certain situations that we gave our own power away to allow other people to star in the role of the movie that should be ours. So here's the thing. Pluto going direct is going to give us a jolt in intensity. Whatever it is that has basically fallen apart in life will be resurrected. Whatever has died will be resurrected. Whatever has had to be let go of will be resurrected in a brand new way. Now, Pluto is the god of the underworld, our shadow realm. And so this last 5.5, 6 months has been an exploration of our shadow work in our inner realm. We've been helpless, trying to exert our force out in the external realm to change things, to move things, to manipulate the path and moving forward. We have been stuck on having to analyze our deepest, darkest truths, our unconscious fears, our existing pain and trauma, and where those elements are creating a blockage in our energy from wanting to enlighten, from wanting to illuminate. Pluto going direct means that we've had these epiphanies. We are basically at the point where we are hulking out. We are using our negative experiences, our pain and our trauma as inspiration and motivation to make the change. Yes, our landscape has definitely morphed into something that many of us do not recognize. We are moving forward without certain people, without certain possessions, certain titles, certain parts of ourselves. But moving forward is the goal. Now, Pluto has been in Capricorn energy since 2008, which means that we are bringing this particular chapter to a close as Pluto is preparing to move into Aquarius energy early in 2023. Pluto going direct will have a huge spotlight on the United States of America as they are going to be aspected again with their Pluto return. I made a forecast about this back in February. If you want to go ahead and take a listen to that, that would kind of put into perspective why we're seeing some of the particular situations that we are seeing on the greater, grander global stage, especially where the United States of America is concerned. But basically, this is us bringing something full circle. This is us bringing something to an end, bringing something to a close, where we are going to rise above those circumstances, whether we like them or not, and we are going to charge forward. This is not going to feel good. We are literally doing the battle cry, if you will, as we charge forward, facing our fears, tapping into a new level of courage and bravery to push ourselves forward in a landscape that we may not have chosen for ourselves, that we do not really enjoy being in. But again, our whole mission, our whole purpose is to turn the darkness into light, to turn that pain into power, and to persevere, to overcome all of the challenges, all of the obstacles in which we've been faced with. So we can expect that there are going to be some new truths definitely revealed to us around this time. We have to consider the fact that just hours after Pluto goes direct, we are going to have our full moon in Aries, which is a crossroads point, a choice point, a split in the timeline, a split in soul contracts, where we are essentially awakening to a brand new level of awareness and enlightenment. And because Pluto is kind of setting off this very intense, this very powerful weekend, we are going to feel this on a very, very intense and extreme level. And for many of us, this is not going to feel good, but it is a forward motion. Again, we will be given the green light go ahead to kind of take action, make moves, maneuver and manipulate some of our situations and scenarios to better accommodate what it is that we've already arrived at within ourselves. Of course, this last 5.5, 6 months has been totally transformative, mostly in a destructive way. But again, I'm going to use the volcano analogy because it seems to be very fitting. We are essentially watching this beautifully dangerous lava explode and spew out. And in doing so, we are watching it just eat away at the earth that it's moving over, scorching it like you would not believe. But from that scorched, burnt crispness, we will see life resurrect itself once again. We will see a regeneration of life, and it will come back greener and plusher than ever. It may not, heal some of the wounds that we've had to accumulate in order to get to this particular point, but we're definitely going to do our damnedest to continue to push forward. So to speak about the turmoil that Pluto kind of brings in our lives, it's low and slow, but then we do acknowledge it. It's there, it appears. And then we kind of have to sit with ourselves, again, in the shadow realm, the god of the underworld. And we sit with our darkest parts of ourselves in order for there to be an aha moment in our psyche, in our heart space, where we shift. We essentially rewrite the past in a better framework in order to kick our spiritual butts into the next level. And now going direct, we are going to see the results of what it is that we have kind of, evolved within us, what we've realized within us. And now we're actually going to be moving forward in seeing some of those transformations actually come to life. This is definitely I'm going to say a bittersweet transformation. This is definitely one of those times where we are trying to make the best of a bad situation or scenario. And we're definitely going to feel, I'm going to say, less in control of our personal circumstances, because karmically speaking, we have a lot pushing us, a lot being thrown at us, forcing us to change. And of course, nobody likes change, let alone when it's actually forced upon us and it's not something that we choose ourselves. But because it's in this Capricorn energy, and because we have been essentially dismantling the systems and the structures that we've had in our lives that are no longer working for us since 2008, this is a powerful shift for us where we are essentially rebuilding the foundation of what it is that our lives are going to look like moving forward. This is about reshaping the structure of our lives. This is about rebuilding the foundation of our lives moving forward. We may, be doing this because we have no other choice, but at the same time, Pluto only creates destruction where destruction is needed. It's not accidental, I would say. It's more karmic in nature than anything else. Although us here in our egoic meat suits may not be able to arrive to that particular karmic understanding until we pass over back into spirit, back into source. A lot of this can seem, especially some of the situations that have totally disrupted our lives, can seem very, very unfair, very unsettling. And because we're in Libra season where we just want justice, we want the balance to be restored, the justice to be restored, we may have a hard time coming to terms with, finding peace with some of the situations that have been thrown at us. And it is only when we push through, when we persevere, when we make something good out of a bad situation that we're able to look back in hindsight and actually see where the connections are made, see where if certain events didn't happen, we wouldn't have made the choices that we had to make, where if certain situations weren't forced upon us, that we weren't in a situation to ever choose the path or the direction that we chose only because we were forced to choose it. But right now, we're in what I would call the next phase of building, the next phase of restructuring, redesigning, rebuilding something to basically mirror back to us where it is that we have taken our tough love circumstances, our tough love life lessons, and tried to make the best of it. So this is a great time to work on acceptance, as hard as it may be. We do have a lot of very hard truth pills to swallow at this present moment, especially reflecting back on the last 6 months and all of the very deep-seated, intense, karmic lessons and changes that have been thrown at us, essentially reshaping who it is that we are. That's why we're going through a reinvention, a rebranding. And although it would be easy peasy to snap our fingers and to make peace with some of the horrible circumstances that have taken place in our lives, it is a long-term healing journey. So this is a good time to kind of surrender to the universe, to put your belief into something higher, to trust that the pain and the trauma and the unfortunate circumstances were somehow divinely scripted in our life experience in order to push us into our greatest power and into our greatest strength.